Russell Brand ripped holes in a woman's tights and refused to call her taxi until she performed an sex act. Read from this what you will. It's up to you what you make of this. So this is new story that has come forward, and she says she met the comedian on a flight, and she alleges that he made her feel vulnerable and intimidated with his aggressive behavior. Brand has previously insisted all his relationships have been consensual. So, this is the video that they made. I don't know if I can play it. Might be copyrighted. I don't know.
It was consensual. I didn't say no, but I feel like there's a fine line between being forced and being coerced. You know, like being in a situation where the only way out is just to get it over and done with and leave.
It's been years since Sarah met Russell Brand. Now, under the condition of anonymity, she's telling her story. Speaking to Sky News with her name changed, she recounts how she met the celebrity on a plane.
He seemed friendly and charming, and then he invited me to go for breakfast and a walk when we got off. He changed. Like, he wasn't friendly and charming in the limo. He was aggressive, and I felt very vulnerable and intimidated. He just jumped on me in the limo. The limo driver was turning round a few times because I was like saying no, but he ripped a hole, more than one hole, in the tights I was wearing.
And instead of a walk, they drove straight to his home.
It was consensual, but I did feel like after that limo ride, I just had to get on with it.
Sarah claims they had sex, but that he refused to let her leave.
I wanted to leave, and I said, I need to get a taxi. And he said, I'm not going to get you a taxi until you do this, which was a sex act. So I felt trapped. I felt really trapped. And I felt eager to leave. Like, I really wanted to scale that house.
Sky News has reached out to Brand's representatives for comment.
Right. So, according to that was a reconstruction. Okay. Now, I don't know what they mean by a reconstruction. Did they use an actor? Did they use a voiceover artist? Which was it? Is that, or is it just, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. So, yeah, it's a reconstruction. So they've blurred her out. So they've either used a voiceover, AI voice. Actually, the voice, if it was a voiceover, it did sound to me a little strange. So it's possible if it's a voiceover, it's an AI voiceover. But then, of course, it could be the woman's actual voice. And she just feels like she's feeling nervous about talking. That's also a possibility there. So who knows? So it's either or it's an actress. But I don't know. So she goes with him when she doesn't have to, but she felt like she had to. What do you make of that? What do you make of that? So the BBC, has said it's been looking into new allegations by another woman who claimed he exposed himself to her. The woman who the BBC is naming, Olivia, said she was working in the same building as Brand 15 years ago in Los Angeles when the incident happened. She claims that she answered the door to RB and his team, and when she went into the bathroom, she noticed he was behind her. And she claims that RB said he was going to have sex with her, and she replied, "No, you're not." She alleges that he showed genitals, and she responded with, "No, no, no." She says she returned to the desk afterwards and texted a BBC employee in the office about what happened. First of all, why did you text? You should have gone straight to the bosses, regardless of power. I mean, listen, I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to tell you a story. I don't like talking about myself on social media, but something happened 10 years ago? Maybe more than that now. And I went with a work colleague and to an enabling trip, and you see, I'm struggling to talk about it, and he put the service user to bed, and then he came to my room, knocked on my door, and he was very, very promiscuous, and he had other intentions. I put my foot down without going into details as to what he did. I put my foot down and I said no, and I told him to, basically get stuffed, and he listened, and I felt awful, but because this happened and we were work colleagues, when I got back from the trip, I didn't text anyone about it. When I got back from the trip, I went straight to my bosses and I said, look, this has happened. And so they dealt with it. So, and this would have been, this is 15 years ago, so I think it would have been slightly less than that happened now. I can't quite recall off of the top of my head what year it was, but it's difficult to report those kinds of things. But you got to be able to be confident and report it. And this article does go on and talk about other things. Listen, I'm going to ping it into the chat, and of course it will be on my YouTube videos in the description below. Go and take a look at this article. You draw your own conclusions on it and you make your own decisions. I'm not going to tell you what to believe and what not to believe. It is entirely up to you. But I do think that they should have gone to the higher ups. Because it says here that she didn't. Well, and obviously that's somebody's choice. But then you got to live with that choice. And it's not easy talking about those sorts of things. It really isn't. But it's your own choice, basically. I don't know what to make of it. Now, this is not saying that this is not true, and I'm not saying that that brand is guilty, or innocent. It bothers me when people don't go to the higher ups. I know you may not feel like you're able to go to the higher ups, but you've got to at least try. I don't want to undermine anyone, but you've got to at least try. But that says something about the establishments. But we'll get into that in another video, I think. Okay, so chat about it, don't chat about it. Let me know what you think below. Ping a comment below, and thank you. That was a funny noise.